This is supposed to be all forgiving, and you find if you believe and ask for forgiveness, and you're forgiven.
You're just making up your own
That's
stuff. You're not going to go show me.
Is that true in the Bible?
You're just making a blanket statement. But why don't you show me what you're quoting?
Pull out the Bible. Jonathan showed me it in the Bible. Oh, but that Bible's not the
There's
true
no
Bible.
phrase of all forgiving. You're just making up phrases. It's like people say hate the sinner, love the sinner. That's not in the Bible, but 99% of people think it is because it sounds good to them.
In the Bible, it says
Jesus does want us to. Oh yeah,
it does.
It also says to love your enemies, but your enemies aren't always. But most of our enemies are not God's enemy. And then it's so on because we're not supposed to love. We're not supposed to love God's enemies.
But it says to in the Bible.
No, it does not say to love God's enemies.
It says love thy enemies in the Bible.
Jesus said love your enemies. In context. And then he also says not to love,
but
the world. Anybody loves the world, the Father is not in them. You're not supposed to just love everybody.
And where did this come from? Who wrote this?
Huh?
Who wrote this?
In the Bible. And I have a basis. That's my whole point. You don't believe the Bible. That's already been established. But you don't believe in the Torah either. Because a lot of the stuff that you're mad about, that a lot of Christians
I don't do
believe
fucking
in,
sacrifices anymore.
I'm saying that religious Jews are hypocrites because they have no excuse for not doing the sacrifices. That was what they were told to do in the Torah.
And that changed when...
it changed with what? Jesus.
No.
He fulfilled it. He was
when what's his name was supposed to sacrifice his son, and he was going to.
Abraham
told
with Isaac.
Told him not to.
That was a picture of Jesus, and they sacrificed. All the temples are built after that. That's what's funny. That's like historically before, like a long period of sacrifices that have been going on after that. So that can't be doing away with their sacrifices. They didn't even have a temple then. No. The first temple wasn't even built then. That's before Moses. And Moses...
So Moses was before...
Jesus
was after
before
Moses?
the 12 tribes and the Jews...
Jesus was before Moses?
Huh? Well, Jesus has been forever. But I'm saying, you're saying Abraham...
You just said he was before Moses.
That's what the Bible says, before there was I am. But that's beside the argument. You tried to say when Abraham went to sacrifice his son...
Jesus was alive at that time.
Jesus wasn't man, no.
Oh, okay.
But you're changing it before we finish the subject at hand. Abraham was way back in Genesis, and there was way before Joseph went to Egypt.
So there were no Jews at that time either.
No, there was no Jews.
Okay.
Jews did. You know what Jews are? They didn't come about until the 12 tribes. Israel had been established for a while as a kingdom.
No,
and then they broke apart. No, Jews. The word Jew is short for, is this for reference of the tribe of Judah? Judah, Benjamin, and half a tribe, Manasseh or whatever I pronounce it, were the southern kingdom or whatever, and they were righteous when the other ones were against them, and Israel was at war against.
So when Moses said, "Let my people go," who was he talking
way
about?
After that, that's Abraham,
when Moses
Isaac,
said, "Let
Jacob.
My people go," where was
Joseph come from Jacob. Joseph is the one of the 12 sons that went to Egypt.
When Moses said, "Let my people go," what people were he talking about? What's he talking about?
Oh, the Hebrew people, not Jews. There was no such thing as a Jew then. No such thing as a Jew then.
Hebrew people.
Yeah, they were Hebrew.
Okay, sorry.
And they weren't even referenced until about that time where they went into Egypt. And that was the whole point of coming out of Egypt. Egypt was wicked. It wasn't at first, though. When Joseph went there, he was...
and Moses led him to
Egypt
Israel.
loved Joseph. And Joseph
Moses took
saved
him
their
to Israel, and that's
land.
when Israel became what it was.
Do what?
When Moses took his people through the desert to Israel.
Well, yeah, they were given a land which they didn't get to get. Even the first generation actually most of them weren't believing, and so they had to die off before the children could go in there. But as you said, Abraham ended Isaac up there ended the sacrifice, but that can't be because that was so early on and recorded.
All religions change.
It doesn't change. If you went to any rabbi, which I think are heresy. Listen to me. If you went to any rabbi and had him get out the Torah, he would agree with what I'm saying. He would agree with what I'm saying. Abraham was like way early on in even recorded history of doing sacrifices, and they used to just do it out of earth and lay a stone on top of another. The temple didn't come till way after when after they left Egypt, and before they're even called Jews then.
Then you should die. Nazis.
By the way, I believe the Nazis are highly exaggerated, but I don't agree with what they did. The whole
what they did, you do that?
No, the dude was into evolution and eugenics, which, by the way, he got from our country, which your history books didn't teach you, so you just focus on Hitler like they want you to. You don't even know that we freaking persecuted people based on their race in America before Hitler did it.
I'm not saying you're the same thing. You're going to persecute people for what they believe.
We sterilize people and fix things in this country, and that almost nobody knows about it.
And that's okay?
That has been recorded documented.
What's the difference between what you do and what you want to be
I
done?
don't believe in eugenics. I don't believe in that religion of eugenics.
They don't believe in what you believe, kill them.
I don't just believe kill them. The government, I don't even believe in vigilante work, and neither does Pastor Anderson. He doesn't believe in taking stuff in your own hands. They should be executed. In our country, executed them for hundreds of years. Hundreds. Go look up the founding fathers. They took it past what the Bible said, which I don't even totally agree with.
But it's the same thing.
Thomas Jefferson said to cut it
Just because
off.
they did it before doesn't make it fucking right.
It curved it, dude. Fags are evil, dude. You'll never convince me they're good. They're all pedophiles. They will all seduce a kid into sex if you give them the chance.
Sure.
They're giving up their animals. The Bible says it, and I believe it. I've seen it. But above us now, dude, you think I'm radical, but I just have a basis for what I believe, and you don't. You don't even have a Jewish basis. Okay. You didn't even know Jews came after, like hundreds and hundreds of years after Abraham died. It's not that the word is thrown around as a blanket statement. People. It's not even a race. People became Jews. That's how funny.
You fucking dumbass. I say Jewish people because it's easier to say than Hebrew people. It's
because it's a blanket statement word people throw around.
Okay, well that's what we're using. Okay. Jesus fucking Christ, man. You're the most ignorant person.
I'm not ignorant because I have a basis. I read the Bible every morning, so I actually know what you're trying to tell me is bullshit. But most people you could say that to that are, and I'm talking about Christians, would believe what you're saying because they don't know. Oh. They never read the Bible. They sit in
Jonathan reads the Bible from front to back, and he'll tell you.
Then he'd probably stand up to you. He could bring it on, and whatever.
You're no different than Hitler, because if you don't believe in what you
believe
in,
the Hitler comment is like stupid.
What you believe in, no, you should all be killed.
I don't say that everybody who only Islam's only one of the religions that believes that someone that isn't Islam should be killed, and I don't even believe that all Muslims think that. Most Muslims don't even have a clue.
Hello.
I gotta go to the other end.